Hey, this is Keith Sweat, and you know I got soul, baby.
What up, y'all? Thank you for tuning in to You Know I Got Soul, the headquarters for R&B. I'm your host today, Ed from Soul and Stereo, holding it down for my boys Tom and Kyle. And today, you know your boy's excited, because if you know me, you know how excited I am for our guest that we have in the house right now. I'm joined by a man for three decades has been the flag bearer for R&B, one of the innovators of the New Jack Swing sound, opened the door for a plethora of acts to find themselves in the industry. Singer, songwriter, producer, radio host, author, one of the biggest selling male R&B solo artists of all time, mastermind behind some of your favorite classics of the past 30 years. And in just a couple of days, he'll be blessing us with his 13th solo LP. Ladies and gentlemen, my man, the OG of R&B himself, Mr. Keith Sweat. My man, Keith, how you doing today?
I'm good, bro. How you feeling, my bro?
Man, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. Before we dive into this new album, I've got to say, I'm based down here in Birmingham, and you were close by me a few days ago. You were over at Wind Creek, and I caught you last year this time when you were in town for the Magic City Classic with En Vogue, Dougie Fresh, and that crew. You tour almost nonstop. First of all, how do you have the energy to just keep doing these live performances, and why are they such a priority for you?
Well, I mean, I love doing what I do, so I love touring. I love performing for my audience. I love having the people come out to see me to reminisce about the music, the good music, the old music, or, you know, the current music. So for me, it's something that I really enjoy. It's not about, you know, doing it because I want to get paid necessarily. It's about doing it because I love doing what I do. I've always had or wanted to basically be in this game, be in the music game, be in the music industry. And for that reason, you know, of me always wanting to have that under my belt, I just feel like now I'm just enjoying, you know, life and enjoying, you know, doing what I do, you know, because it's something that I've always wanted to do and something that I've always enjoyed doing.
And clearly you're still into it. I remember when you were here last year, this brother got on top of the speaker and was doing this thing. I was like, keep climbing on the speaker. He was that serious. Let's talk about the new album you got, Playing for Keeps. It's number 13, lucky number 13. Now, you had How Many Ways early this year. That's kind of been burning up most of the calendar year. And now we got Boomerang, newest single with Miss Candice Price. How did that collabo come about? Well,
you know, I met Candice through a friend of mine. So basically, I liked her voice. The voice sounds very fresh and very, you know, revitalized to me for what's going on nowadays. So I just thought it would be a good look for myself as well as her to put her on a record with me and showcase her more than myself on this particular song. But, you know, I'm on the song. So, you know, plan on looking for more things from her or hearing more things from her from my behalf.
Yeah, no question. One thing that you've always been in your career is a master of the duet. You had from Jackie McGee, my girl Athena Cage, Lil Mo. And we know we don't really hear duets like we used to. I talked to Peebo Bryson a few months back about this, and I wanted you to weigh in. Do you think we've kind of lost the art of that duet?
Not really. Most people just want to do their own thing. I mean, I love doing songs with females, so I mean, I do my own thing and add that little, you know, extra oomph to a record because I do it with a female. So, I mean, no, I don't think. I mean, it's just a person's preference. My preference is basically to do some songs with females at times. But I like the way it flows. I like the way it sounds.
Yeah, on those lines, what goes into making a good duet? Because with yours, you always have, even with Candice, it's just a lot of chemistry. Is it solely chemistry? Is it songwriting?
Songwriting, I mean, both of them play an important part. Songwriting as well as chemistry. So, you know, I mean, it really depends on, you know, the song and the individual and, you know, what I feel like is going to work on the song.
Right. Now, you've had pretty much collabos with everybody. Is there somebody else on your list that you'd like to get to knock out a duet? I know personally I'd like to hear Keith and Kiki Wyatt joint. Is there somebody else on your checklist?
No, not really. I mean, I've pretty much been doing this so long, I don't really, everybody I've always wanted to do a duet with, I'm fine with that.
Pretty much. Let's go back to Boomerang for a second. You mentioned how Candice brings kind of a updated sound, and the reason why I really like the record, I talked about it on both of the websites, is that it sounds like a 2018 record, but it also sounds like a Keith Sweat record. You had that new sound, but you didn't betray your core sound. And I know we've talked about this a lot on the podcast, but a lot of fans in recent years have gotten frustrated when their artists that they came up on and loved kind of transition into a new sound. We heard that A. Marie's new album. It just came out. So you hear artists that you love, and then they're suddenly auto-tuning and trapping or whatever. But what are your thoughts on artists evolving this and kind of in this new sound and new era? How can an artist evolve without alienating their core, or doing like you did, where you can kind of take a little bit from the current and then still bring that classic Keith into it?
Well, I mean, because I write my own music, I can do pretty much what I need to do or want to do in terms of my songs. I'm not depending on someone to give me a song or write a song for me. So for me, I mean, I just feel like, I have my core base. I have people who want to hear Keith Sweat, and I'm not trying to really reinvent the wheel, because I already know I'm going to get a certain amount of listeners. When I write a song, it's basically I have to feel true to the song. I can't feel like I'm doing something that's not true to me. So that's my take on that.
Right. I remember back in 2000 when you dropped Didn't See Me Coming, and that album had a real solid hip-hop edge, and it was different, but it still worked. And I know you're the type of artist, like from your background, you came from the streets, you did that, so that sound was natural for you. So is that constant staying true to that sound, is that something that younger artists have to do as they continue to evolve?
To each his own. Like I said, everybody's different. My attitude is like when I do a song, I might not have the same take on a song that other artists have on a song. So for me, I might not have to do what another artist might have to do in order to gravitate or have people gravitate into. I think I can be fresh with some of the same vibes without having to really just go all the way past what I do.
Right. With these changing sounds, man, you've seen it all. You've seen things go from New Jack, you've seen neo soul, you've seen the introduction of hip hop, you've seen, now this current era. What's your opinion of the current direction of R&B? Like I said, you've seen it all. You know that the cycle continues to evolve. The audience turns over. You keep your core base, but you're always just kind of adding on new sounds. What do you think about the current direction as far as overall? And is this current generation of artists kind of capitalizing on that sound?
Well, like I said before, to each his own. The current generation of R&B is younger people doing their thing. They're not going to do what Keith Sweat did because they were not born up in that generation. They're going to do what they're going to do what they do because this is the era that they were raised in. So they only know what they know. And that's how that is. You can't expect them to do Keith Sweat or be Keith Sweat or do a Keith Sweat song when they didn't grow up in the era of the Keith Sweat. They grew up in the era of Chris Brown or Trey Songz or those type of guys. So that's what they're going to follow suit because that's what they know.
Yeah, and they're going to be telling their story from their perspective. So I definitely respect that. Of these young cats, you mentioned Chris, you mentioned Trey, are there any young guys that we should keep our eyes on that you're really feeling right now that you think are really pushing the genre forward?
I mean, you got the main acts, like the younger main acts like Chris, Trey, those type of acts, Jeremiah. I mean, those are the younger guys right now doing their thing, So, I mean, until a new breed of young guys come out right now, that's the ones who holding it down right now.
And when we, back in my era, back in the 90s, we used to see the R&B was just so mainstream. And even though you got kind of the flag bearers today, the Treys and the Chris's, they're still doing their thing. Overall, we don't see a lot of those guys hitting the heights of the charts that we were in the 90s. Why do you think that is? Why do you think that there's R&B in 2018 just isn't mainstream like it was in the 90s? Is it just sign of the times, or is it something missing from the music?
Well, like radio has changed, man. The way radio is, the way things are, things have changed. So, I mean, you're going to have a different thing. The whole approach to radio, the way, programmers program at radio. I mean, that's the reason why the things are the way they are.
And that's true. And we also have lost in the past couple of years that those video outlets, BET, MTV, you can't go on 106 and Park, sit on the couch and get your stuff debuted anymore. It's a whole different landscape to kind of get your voice out there.
Right.
I know our time is short, but I want to talk a little bit more about Playing for Keeps. It's going to drop in a couple of days. What can we expect to hear from this album? Is it going to be a few more different sounds like we heard from Boomerang, more classic that we heard from the KC joint?
Well, it's classic plus the stuff like Boomerang. It's a variety of different things. So, I mean, the album is a very diverse album. So you will hear like from me different songs. I mean, everything is not definitely gonna sound the same. That's not what I do. So,
right.
I mean, you got the up tempo and you got the mid tempo, and you got the slow.
What you've always done for your previous albums is you kind of mix the bag up a little bit. Going into this one, is it when you go in the studio, you just come out and you just like, I'm going to do Keith and I'm just going to feel it, or do you have a game plan saying, all right, I'm going in here, I'm going to do this amount of records, I want to have this vibe, I want to have this amount, to have this vibe? How's that process work?
No, I never have a game plan. It's always just come and do it. Never a game plan, not at all. Just to go in there and just enjoy what I do and make good music, man. That's what my whole thing be all the time.
Man, 30 years strong. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I feel you. Before we head out, hit us with one of, I've always wanted to know this, I've never seen this. Of all these records you've done, which one to this day still your favorite to perform?
I mean, I got a few favorites. It's never, I don't have one favorite I've done.
Well, you can hit us with with your favorites.
I Make It Last. Don't Stop. Nobody. That's just a few. I mean, I Give All My Love. So that's a few of some of my favorites right now.
Yeah, and I love when we at the live show and you drop when the album cuts on us. When I was at a show a few years ago and you dropped Yummy. I was like, all right, Keith. I almost forgot about that one.
Yeah.
So before we roll out, I want to thank you once again for having the legend in the house. Is there anything else you want to say to our fans and listeners before your album drops in a couple days?
Oh, yeah. Well, I want to thank everybody for being there, supporting me through the years. And, I definitely want everybody to go pick up the new album, Playing for Keeps, or download it, stream it, whatever you got to do. Make sure you listen to it. Make sure you check it out. And make sure you support me, keep supporting me. Make sure you go listen to the Sweat Hotel in the Market where I'm on near you.
No doubt.
Make sure you definitely, check me out on Instagram. Go to Keith Sweat. Go to my Facebook page, Keith Sweat. And just follow me, baby. And I'm good.
No question. I saw you and Case on IG a couple of days ago.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's my man.
Yeah, he's a friend of the show too. Keith,
all right.
Honor to have you in the house, man. Honor to have you. Can't wait for this new album. We're gonna have a review up soon. Continue to support you.
Thank you, my brother. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, man. Have a
no
blessed
problem.
day.